defensive system? Are you getting a sense of what that's all about? What's going to be like to play in this system?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great being under Coach Kelly, Coach Williams, Coach Sal. Just that whole coaching staff has been really great. Just understanding their system, understanding their mindset. And I think it was a bit of a challenge for me at first, just trying to get all the stuff from Dartmouth out, just trying to learn this new system, but still keeping those same fundamentals I learned there. But I mean, it's been exciting. The players are running the expectation out of us that they want. I mean, I've loved it.
Well, there's one of the new Buffaloes right there, Shane Cokes. He's going to be a good one for Colorado. Back in the Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, defensive coordinator Charles Kelly joining us here for a few minutes. All right, Shane Cokes, tell us about him a little bit. Impressive kid.
He's very impressive.
Yeah.
Goes to work every day, acts like a professional, plays really hard, has learned the defensive scheme, really works at his technique. He's been a joy to coach. Sal's done a great job with him.
Yeah, we hear Prime all the time talk about going out wanting dogs, wanting guys that want to play. What does that mean in a Charles Kelly world? What does that look like? What qualities in a player are you looking for defensively?
First of all, when you really love ball, you got to love the grind, and you've got to love the practice. You've got to love the preparation. You got to love the film study. You got to love everything about it. You just can't love game day, and that's what a dog does. And, Shane has shown that, every little thing, there's not a time. I think every Thursday night since he's been here, he would show up at my office at 6 o'clock and say, Coach, can we watch film?
Yeah.
On his own.
That's a quality that's unique, is those guys that want to, there's guys that show up at practice.
Right.
And there's guys that show up then on their time and want more out of you guys. That's what you're talking about.
That's what you're talking about. And because you fall in love with the grind of the game. Same way with coaching. You got to enjoy everything that goes on in coaching. The development of players, the recruiting, the relationships. It's not just game day. It's a whole process that has to be worked in order to get results.
All right, you're nearly through the entire group of practices for spring ball. What's your assessment defensively?
Well, we've got some holes to fill in the portal, and we feel like we're on track to do that. But for the guys that have been here, I feel like they've made improvements. We've seen improvement every day in practice. So, the biggest thing, what we want to do is be a fundamentally sound team, and we want to be able to play fast. Yeah. So we worked hard at that, and you see some improvement. And, we tackle better in the last scrimmage. We got to eliminate big plays, make sure we're sure tacklers and make sure we understand what we're doing scheme-wise.
One of the guys who's a returning player for the Buffaloes, Charles gets a chance to coach. On the secondary level is safety Trevor Woods.
Powered by Ford, cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America, built Ford proud. When the coaching change is made and then you find out that the interim guy's not going to get it, you're not sure who the coach is, it can be real easy in this day and age to start looking elsewhere and think, I'm able to just jump in the portal. Was that a tough situation for you to kind of wait and see what was going to happen and who was going to become the new coach?
Not for me. I'm happy with where I am. I have enough confidence in myself that I feel like anywhere I go, I could have played. So, I'm here. Yeah. No matter who he brings in, I felt like, I can compete.
When Coach Prime got here, he kind of laid a challenge down to all you guys. Okay, now, new sheriff in town. This is the way we're going to do things. You guys got to rise up to that level. You took that as kind of a challenge, a guy that's as competitive as you are, I would think.
Of course. Everyone here should be competitive people, and I think just like most other guys, we took it as a challenge, as everybody should. If you didn't take it as a challenge, then those are the guys, we don't really want.
Trevor's one of those guys, isn't he? He don't like the spotlight, doesn't want to talk about, interviews from in front of a camera, but he loves the game.
He loves the game, and I'll tell you about Trevor. He's one of those guys that, he had been here before, he'd been through a few coaches, and it was interesting to watch him, how he bought into what we were doing. He's really worked fundamentally. There were some things, he's got really good instincts. He's a good tackler. We did some things to work with him in coverage. To help him, and he's bought into all that, and he's one of those guys like Shane that really loves the grind. He loves that part of the game.
Charles, the installation process, trying to get these guys to understand the system.
Right.
How's that process going? Are you happy where you're at?
It's good, and I think what you have to, when you're putting in a new system, and I think football in general, what you want guys to do is be able to understand concepts, not memorization. It's not like memorizing a vocabulary test. You're understanding certain concepts. And those concepts, whether they come up in first and second down, third down, red zone, goal line, short yardage, you want those guys to be able to understand those concepts and then understand how to play situations.
Okay.
Because if you play situations good, then it's going to give you a better chance to win the game.
Yeah.
And I think our guys are starting to understand that.
You know, we were talking to Prime here in the previous segment, and he said one of the things I got to remind Coach Kelly all the time, when he gets out there, he gets fired up on the field, he's saying, hey, you don't have your full deck of cards yet. It's going to look a little bit different when you get there in August.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're, I feel like when you're coaching, you coach everybody the same way. And you coach, it doesn't matter. You've got to anticipate that, hey, every player could be in there playing as a starter. So that's the way we do. We have expectations for everybody on this team.
Speaking of expectations, Saturday, 1 o'clock, Folsom Field. What do you want to see from your unit?
First of all, I want to see people execute. I want to see people play fast, and we want to tackle well.
Okay.
That's the things that we want to do. We're not going to try to go out there and do 1,000 scheme things, but we want to see the guys play fast. Their first time in this stadium.
Yeah.
You got to take pride in that, and that's what I want to see. I want to see how much pride they have by going on that field.
All right. Love it, Coach. Thank you much.
Thank you.
All right. Defense coordinator Charles Kelly here in the Buffaloes. You've got the spring game on Saturday at 1 o'clock. We're going to flip over to the offensive side. Sean Lewis, offensive coordinator, joins us next.